Hello, every pony, and welcome to We Were Hit by a Horse Truck and got these guys into Equestria. Welcome, and today, sorry, got ahead of myself. With me, as always, is my darling co-horse, Spilled Beans. How could I ever forget you, Beans?
Oh, I mean, I understand that we're going to be spending some time talking about Sunset, so, like, I get it. I get it.
I feel so mean.
It's all good. But I'm doing all right. It's nice to have hooves again. And I didn't think I'd expect to say that.
Welcome back to Hooves. They're very good.
Yeah.
Well, and, listener, today we're doing something a little different. As you can tell by the fact that I messed up the intro.
I
messed up the intro because I wanted to talk about the different thing we're doing today. So I wanted to talk about the Fall of Sunset Shimmer, kind of the only backstory we ever get for our darling Sun Horse. And it's a comic. It's like 8 pages long. It's not all that much to talk about. So we thought we'd drag it out a little bit, and we'll dub the comic for you. We're going to have an audio-visual component here, so there'll be a YouTube link in the description and a video file up on isekai.horse. And other than that, hope you have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and also after this, we'll be doing a mailbag. We have some letters to read, and thank you all for writing in, those of you who wrote in. Those of you who didn't, I understand. You probably didn't have anything to say, or you, were not caught up when we made that announcement.
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah. Oh, I don't think we said who the artist or author was for this comic, did we?
No, we didn't. I'm trying to find the scan.
Because this was part of an anthology.
Well, it was part of My Little Pony Annual 2013, which has 2 stories in it. Sorry, I have it right. I have it right here. I have written by Katie Cook, art by Andy Price, coloring by Heather Breckel. There you go.
Oh man, this comic is cooked, is what you're telling me.
Oh, why? Because separate people did the line art versus the colors?
Oh, no, because the writer's name was Cook.
Oh.
Now, that is normal for comics, honestly.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. And that's probably why I mentioned the anthology would be, if there had been more than 2 comics in this book, that would have made even more sense. I'm just you have all that stuff on one page at the front.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which isn't in the copy we have here. But
Yeah. And I could have gone into the other room and gotten my actual physical paper copy of the comic, but we have what we have. We figured it out. Love won.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the Fall of Sunset Shimmer.
Yeah. Do love an opening, just right in the middle of a thing. I've fucking forgotten the word for it. Holy shit. Immediate res. Let me just try that over.
We're starting in Meridius res.
I'm just gonna take another stab at that. Just a moment. I do love us starting, in media res. It's a good way to do it.
In Meridia res.
Oh, very wise.
I'm
Noon
so
vibes.
wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're so wise, we should go to Princess Celestia School for Gifted Unicorns.
Yeah.
What do you know? That's where our story begins.
Indeed. We have our little. Oh wait, right. This is a bit. Oh wait, no. We have people who probably only be listening.
Yeah. We do have to split the difference where we can lean on the visuals, but we can't guarantee folks will be using their eyeballs.
Mm-hmm. We do have 3 very differently dour looking ponies with some clipboards.
Yeah, our judges.
Yeah. As well as 2 in the background that are not super important right now. One of them has the classic
dude's burnt to a crisp. He looks like a match head.
Yeah,
like a spent match head.
If Marvin the Martian was a unicorn and has a little bit of smoky going on there, you get it. And then another one that's holding a potted bonsai tree sort of looking thing, and having some real 1,000-yard stare at it. It's I love this pony. I want to know about this pony.
When are we going to get a backstory comic for Juniper Berry?
Right? And of course, foreground is the only pony who has any shading. Sunset.
Yeah, she's there. She's standing on top of her own name. Being a great horse.
All right, I guess we got to do some voices, and I'm quite happy to take this first one. If you wanna,
yeah.
So we have one of our judges saying, "Now, Sunset Shimmer, for your final test, you shall need to wow us. Give us the best you've got."
We're looking forward to seeing if you can top your synchronized dancing cats piece from last semester. That was a razzle-dazzler.
As Princess Celestia's own pupil, we expect big things today.
Well, you'll certainly see my cock. Sorry. Well, you'll certainly see that.
And we go to the next frame down where I do love that Sunset's doing a, like, coy little, like, whistle while she's doing some magic.
Yeah. She's, like, not even looking, like, because she's looking. This is all around there's a potted plant. There's a vase with a clay pot with some dirt in it.
Yeah. And
she's, like, turned around. She has her eyes closed. She's not even looking.
Yeah, this is the most, like, cool guys don't look at explosions kind of relaxed vibe as some sort of seeds are being put in there. And our dour professors, judges, are now looking very surprised.
Curious, perhaps. They're leaning forward to get a better look.
Yeah. Oh, looks like she's going to do a growth spell. Classic! But is it enough?
Oh, let's hope it turns out better than Juniper Berry's attempt.
And we do get a shot over to Juniper Berry, holding up the plant that does look like it's some kind of monster trying to eat their face, and is now screaming, "Gah! Get off me!"
Put it down, bud.
Yeah. Also, there's a little sort of bandage wrapped around one leg in this shot that was not there previously, and it is the leg that is closest to the viewer. Just saying, maybe go back and put that back in the previous panel. It is literally the same page.
Clearly, the plant got him in between here and now.
I guess. In the space of 3 seconds of conversation, the plant got him and he got a bandage on there. Either way, final panel.
Oh yeah, we get Sunset whipping around, blasting it. Tree like erupts out of the pot, shattering it. Whoomp. Great horse. She's doing it really good.
I don't want to besmirch her, but she does the thing with the expression she's got in this panel does have big John Arbuckle just thinks he dropped a real cool thing to say. Like, oh, she looks smug, and it is not exactly the most ideal face.
Her hair does get all fiery. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And we cut to Princess Celestia appreciating some, well, a bunch of, like, vines and shit, like, burst out of the exam room, and they're coiling around the towers in Canterlot. Celestia looks very pleased, and you should voice Celestia, because otherwise I'll be talking to myself throughout a lot of this.
Oh shit, okay, what does Celestia sound like? Brain, work for me
Twilight Sparkle!
No, I'm not doing that, no.
Like, she's still, like, very, like, impressive, like, oh, Twilight Sparkle, you need to, she's very, like, yep.
I see some pony just passed their midterm.
There you go.
I don't know, it feels like it's got a little bit too much sass that she usually doesn't have in her normal, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, she's
it's
very,
close enough.
Yeah, you gotta wow it to dial in on it.
Yeah, I do want to say this angle on her does have the most, like, MILF-coated energy I think I've ever seen her depicted with.
Yeah, especially because they, like, her mane is down in, like, normal hair, which we don't normally see. Usually it's, like, this big, like, flowing thing taking up the entire screen.
Yeah, this is very much like she's not done up her hair. She's on, like, a relaxing, like, weekend day. Like, this feels a lot like if Celestia wore her fucking pajama pants all day. This is what she looked like.
Yeah, this is a much more relaxed Celestia, you know.
Yeah, I like this depiction of Celestia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably not say that for the rest of the book, but here we are. Well, comic, but here we are.
We move on. We get, every pony's like fucking impressed as hell. They're all clapping their hooves. They're buried in vines. Juniper Berry figured out he can in fact put the plant down.
Yeah, and weirdly, he, instead of any of the examiners, is the one saying "Bravo, wonderful."
Even though the others have their mouths open, presumably they're saying something.
Yeah, they might just be cheering or something. Also, our fried pony is still here, and we get to find out that not only is their face, blast marked, but also their tail is just sort of wisps. Mm-hmm. They've had a bad time.
This guy maybe did not pass his exams.
Yeah. Guy's the start of another fucking, like, Marvel villain origin story where everyone's gonna be like, you kind of had a point, but then you decided to be a fucking asshole about it because the writers had to make you unlikable.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my friend. You are correct, but ideologically you're correct, but unfortunately you hurt someone, and so, sorry. Better luck next time.
Marvel villains and women in World of Warcraft. You see one, you're like, I know I'm supposed to like you, but I know the writers will make me hate you because they'll just write you to be terrible.
Sunset is looking very proud of herself as we move on to the next panel later that day. And in the background we see, I don't know what this business guy is doing here. I'm sure he's a reference to something.
Oh, yeah. Just sort of standing in the background with his suitcase. Yeah. Looking kind of sus, honestly.
And more to the point, we also get a Caden's Shining Armor and Little Philly Twilight playing together, which kind of establishes a timeline. This is usually what I imagine when I but also, because in the movie, Celestia says Sunset was like a few years before Twilight.
Yeah, and Sunset feels the most like body size of normal ponies, but like still slightly child coded. Like this is the most like late teen coded I think I've ever seen a pony. As well as like the peers around her have the vibe of being like, I don't know, teens. And if Twilight's like a little filly, that does make sense.
Yeah, I always kind of assumed that like Sunset here is Twilight's age in the show, but she's probably a little younger because like she's still in school. Because by the time we meet Twilight, she's like a grad student, right? She's like she's like finished her book learning and she's been sent off to the friendship lessons.
Yeah, she's
which might also explain some timeline weirdness here because like we see Colgate, Lyra, pink hair pony whose name I forget, I think Minuet, and the one on the right here I believe is Moon Dancer, who gets mentioned in the pilot but we don't actually see her. And and which again, it's weird that they're like, it makes sense that they're about Sunset's age because remember, they're like Twilight's age when we meet them in the show, and also they live in Ponyville instead of Canterlot, but maybe they moved.
Yeah, and like the difference that like, I don't know, 6 years makes between like, someone who's 16 and 10 versus the difference between someone who's like 30 and 36. Like the scale changes.
Yeah, also they're, as we'll see later, they're like implied to be Sunset's peers, right? And so because I believe also like these three, I remember we see them in the pilot as well, and they're also trying to make friends with Twilight.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense that we're drawing some parallels here, right? Twilight made Spike too big, Sunset makes Plant too big, etc., etc.
Yeah. This so on and so forth.
Yeah. This is injurious to my headcanon that Philomena was originally Sunset's familiar, or supposed to be, before the thing happened.
Oh my fucking, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's really good. It sticks in my head. It makes a lot of sense to me. I do not think that was ever like intended or anything, but it's very near and dear to my heart as like a thought.
Yeah, no, Philomena being intended to be Sunset's as like Spike equivalent. God, I so badly want to see the alternate timeline where it's Sunset and Philomena rather than Twilight and Spike.
Right.
Repeat all the same scenes, right? Like,
right.
The slightly different personality and how different things would be handled. Oh,
it's so good. I would have at least loved to see a scene where, like, after Sunset's inevitable face turn, she, like, hey, is Philomena okay or something like that? Like, she's been thinking about the bird.
Yeah.
But she does get a pet in one short. She adopts a lizard, I believe, a gecko.
Oh, that is extremely good.
Who never gets seen again, but we see him once.
Okay, well.
Yeah, but, you'll have to see it.
The fact that we see Tank more than once is still kind of impressive to me, because that feels like a pet that would be forgotten.
Anyway, so our peanut gallery here shows up. They all love Sunset. Obviously, they're saying very nice things about her.
Sunset Shimmer, that vine you made was amazing.
Really exquisite.
Would you like to come and have lunch with us?
I have better things to do than socialize. I'm going to reread Advanced Elemental Magical Practices and then practice for my Advanced Summoning Spells exam. What are you studying for? Nothing. That's what.
That was from another panel that was down, and it has everyone who was like, "Oh man, let's go say hi to Sunset," is now like, "Damn, Sunset's the meanest bitch in the school." Yeah, everyone hates.
Including one other yellow pony who, like, was not there beforehand, but now hates Sunset. She wasn't even part of this, and she got caught in the everyone disliked that.
Yeah. Moondancer has the really good, like, eye is just a giant circle, pupil is just a tiny dot in the middle, like, what the fuck did I just watch expression. She's fucking stunned that someone would say something like that.
Our next panel, Billy Twilight is having a great time with the ball, but everyone else is not having a good time.
Yeah, Philly Twilight is completely ignoring all events and just walking around hovering a ball, which is very good. I love that for her.
Yeah. Admittedly, it would be weird if she remembered any of this. It's like, oh yeah, Sunset Shimmer, that one girl who made a huge stink when I was like 8.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how I do love the way Moondancer's tail, like, piles up on the ground.
Yeah, it like coils into a circle. Like, it's very good.
It looks very soft, especially with her little tail bow there.
Yeah. She also looks extremely sad. She's like the most sad in the group when everyone else has become angry. And oh boy, Moondancer's going through it right now.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. She's
a very cute horse. I do think we will get to meet Moondancer in the series, but she is not this.
Oh, okay.
But anyway. Can you do her voice in Moondancer, dear?
Yeah. And it's she wasn't very nice.
She's right full of herself, that's what.
Oh, can't believe you babs her.
I think that she's supposed to be English or something, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. I do also enjoy that the pony that has the most Rainbow Dash coated like mane shape does also say, "Her loss, I'm awesome."
I fucking love Colgate's line here. Like this line, I also love Lyra's like silent seething rage, but
yeah,
Colgate's like, "Her loss, I'm awesome" is like, that's stuck in my head. That's good cartooning, IMO.
So who's this starry horse? Because it really does just look like an aged up Sweetie Belle, which is a very strange vibe.
I know every time she comes up, I forget her name. Hang on. I'm
gonna call her Starry Belle until you give us something else.
That is Twinkle Shine. There we go.
Terrible name, but okay, fine.
Correct. I thought she had a better name, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, we can hope that maybe she'll get one eventually, but not from us, I guess.
Sorry, Twinkle Shine.
I can't believe they did you dirty like this.
I think you should at least get to have a name as good as Colgate, or you could be like Star Biscuit. No, that's worse. We should keep dubbing. Yeah, we turn the page and we're in the castle, and come across a conversation between our two main ponies.
welcome to the page of the comic that, at least to my memory, has the most, like, wild shifts in art style, like, panel to panel. Because, yeah, like, Celestia's walking along with Sunset, and Sunset now has a very similar, like, seething rage face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's frustrated, I get it.
Yeah. And Celestia's doing the thing Celestia do, and by that I mean saying, Sunset Shimmer, I have heard that you've not been getting along well with the other students. We've talked about the fact that personal relationships...
Personal relationships? Who needs any pony? The most important thing in life is to be the best.
On to a next panel where Celestia is now giving Sunset a very disapproving, like, glare sort of look. And Sunset... How would you describe Sunset's expression in this panel?
She's, like, rolled her eyes. She's going bleh. She's fucking heard this before. She's like, whatever.
I feel like this is a rejected emoji.
Yeah.
It's kind of where Sunset has gone with this one.
Oh, yeah, the Unicode,
Yeah.
I don't know how to put words to it, but I know that if, like, someone used it in a reply to me, I would know what it meant, you know?
Yeah, that they would just be being like, why are you being this much of an idiot at me? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's disgust, but not like physical revulsion, but like, you know, it's like a performative disgust, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I need you to know that I treat the subject with disdain.
But onto the text of the page, we have... We talked about friendship and its importance before, and we've discussed that you need to start opening yourself up to new friends. And remember what we and remember that talk we had about humility?
I remember how boring it was.
So yeah, we just go from being in the middle of a hallway to being in the middle of a room in front of a mirror, and like I get the impression
to the door.
Okay, but like the good panel flow for this would be like having the discussion, like the second panel being like Celestia opening a door and like her and Sunset being like silhouetted in the door frame to like have a better like progress of how the scene is unfolding.
Yeah, because it's not like they're doing anything in the second panel here.
Yeah, like it looks like they're walking past a door and then they're just in the room. Like anyway, welcome. We now have Celestia looking like, honestly, a bit of a thumb, which is strange.
She's like a pencil.
Yeah,
she's like, right? This is a novelty Princess Celestia-themed pencil eraser.
And Sunset Shimmer is doing her absolute best, traced over a panel of Rarity.
Yeah.
Because this feels like it is directly traced over a frame of Rarity from like one of the season 1 episodes.
I can see that.
Like, her mane isn't even like the shape that her mane normally is in the rest of this. Like, it is a very strange, like... I think whoever did the sketch in ink for this particular panel, like, this particular panel, they were really going through it that day. They were struggling, and I get it. But also, oof. Look into this mirror and tell me what you see.
A beautiful pony that has nothing but power and potential.
It might also be that is possibly one of the most fucking Rarity things to say when presented with a mirror like this.
Yeah, she's admiring herself in the mirror. She's like throwing her mane over her eye.
Like she's being possessed by the spirit of Rarity. And I would like to point out that the shading in this panel, especially the background, has gotten real dense in the hatching, which is interesting because some of the other panels haven't been quite so heavy in that just yet. We also get the next panel over being our darling princess with one of the most like...
She is serving like Charlie Brown character.
Yeah, I was gonna go for like 90s horror webcomic face. And I cannot tell you what that means, but I know there's a non-negligible volume of people who are following along with us who will agree with the comment I just said.
She looks like she's about to say, like, good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, But, like, also this face could be in the foreground when behind her there's, like, a spooky ghost with a knife that wants to kill her or something, right? Like, it is the marriage of those two. When it's supposed to be her, like, rolling her eye in, like, annoyance or whatever.
Yeah. It's also the mare rage.
Ah.
Or at least the mare, like, frustration, disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, care to try that again with our talk about humility taken into account?
We move on and we're like... Sunset's all in shadow, she's gritting her teeth, she's getting maximum edge.
Yeah, this is full on, like, early aughts superhero, like, gritty comic style now. The background has gone into full on cross-hatching. Celestia is, like, looking away with her, like, face hidden by her hair. It's gotten fucking grim.
Mm-hmm. I see a pony who isn't powerful enough. Some pony who could be great, powerful. Some pony that could rule Equestria.
This line hops over to our final panel, which is late aughts edgy superhero comic.
She's
because all the hatching's gone, but we got a hell of a lot of inked shadow instead.
Yep. And she's looking at herself. We kind of see the back of her head as we look into the mirror, and her reflection in the mirror is like, you know, her face half in shadow. She's got like wings and a horn and a crown of light. Got the
notably Celestia's crown.
Mm-hmm.
And like a horn that looks very much like Celestia's horn.
Mm-hmm. She's got those alicorn zoodles going on.
Yeah.
This is the humility.
Yeah, right? I don't know, Princess Celestia. Everyone seems to think you're gonna doom them to the moon for 1,000,000 years if they, like, pour you the wrong kind of tea. So, like, maybe this is the student you've raised. Maybe the student has looked at you and been like, yeah, I want to be that, actually.
Yeah.
And Celestia, you don't like what's in the mirror.
Yeah, I learned it from you, Mom. I learned it from you.
Right? Mm-hmm.
So, Celestia is, like, ushering Sunset away from the mirror just as she sees her human self, like, putting a hand on the glass from the other side.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to keep doing this. Sunset looks like she's straight out of an Invader Zim comic now. Like, I get it. I get having, like, an art style that shifts as you're moving through a comic. I understand, but, like, specifically Sunset's, face changes so much in its construction through a lot of these pages. It bothers me, okay?
You clearly haven't mastered Clover the Clever's face reshapulons.
Right? Just... Yeah, either way, Celestia's leaning in, just being like, well, okay, maybe we better move on.
Wait, what was that? I thought I saw...
I have also just noticed, especially for... Could you zoom in real close on that mirror for a second?
Yeah.
Do you love how her eye and eyelid is bulging out into her hair? Kind of looking like a bit of a frog, actually. Oh, I love that. Okay, all right. I'm going to try not to focus
Sunset
on...
Hopper? Sunset Ribbeter?
Right? Croaking Shimmer? Yeah, as Celestia, like, straight on, like, hoof to butt, basically, is pushing her out of the room. Saying, oh, it was probably a trick of the light. Our lesson is over for today, and for tomorrow, I want you to reflect on this discussion we've just had. Goddamn mirror, reflect on the discussion.
That's a little mirror humor for you.
Yeah. And Sunset's definitely giving quite a stink eye.
And she's like, Her
eyebrows are back.
Congratulations to Sunset Shimmer on unlocking eyebrows again.
Oh, don't worry. We go to the next day and they're gone.
Princess says I only get 30 minutes of eyebrow a day. Okay, yeah. The next day, we're in a library. Celestia's shelving or getting some books. Sunset is reading a copy of Through the Looking Glass.
Very good.
Like, so about that mirror.
No, you aren't ready to know about the mirror.
And the next day, they're standing around a globe. Sunset is looking very eager to be here.
This is the most, like, Philly-shaped Sunset has been as well.
So, the mirror?
No. I do love that Celestia's reply is just no.
And every day for weeks?
Celestia's eye. It is
I'm still a little big, huh?
Yeah. And, like, painted onto the side of her face, rather... I am trying not to, like, be digging at a fellow artist's work. I get it. But also, there are some choices that have ended up in a, like, officially printed comic with, like, Hasbro's goddamn name on them that feel like maybe a slight bit more quality control would have been applied. I feel better about the comics I make. Let me put it that way.
At some point, it'll be interesting to compare these to, like... Because I know IDW does a bunch of pony comics, but, like... I almost wonder if, like... Equestria Girls has always been the, bacon-headed stepchild of the pony franchise. I wonder if it got, a little less tender, loving care.
And this may have also been an artist who's much more familiar with, like, much more comfortable drawing human characters, and did other, like... comics that are Equestria Girls and now is like trying to return to ponies instead. That might be like I don't know anything about the actual artist behind this, so I'm just throwing out hypotheticals here.
When I Google Andy Price, I see like mostly his work for the pony comics.
Yeah.
But maybe this was early on. Who fucking knows? I don't have a timeline in front of me.
Yeah.
But and every day for weeks we get they're Sunset Celestia clearly having a picnic.
With some like really like roiling storms in the background. This is a bad fucking day for a picnic.
Which is weird because you have the weather ponies, right? Like
Yeah.
Alternatively, like Celestia knew this was going to happen and she's calling in the weather ponies to rain out to like have a storm so that their conversation can be suitably dramatic. But every day for weeks we get Sunset going, you know what's fascinating? Mirrors. Oh, about that one in
Sunset Shimmer. We've been over this. We will get to the mirror and many other lessons in due time when you're ready.
Then why did you show her the mirror, Celestia?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you brought this on yourself. Also,
I'm already predisposed to not trust Celestia on things, and like hearing what apparently is the regal side of things, not just Celestia's opinion. Damn, Celestia. You set this girl up to fail.
Also, again, and this is not the last episode, if Twilight did this, Celestia would find it endearing.
Yep.
Or Celestia would just, like, leave her on red and, like, let her figure it out herself, is what seems to happen.
Yeah. If it was the first half of the first season, it would be endearing. For the rest of it, it would be left on red and Celestia would not reply.
Yeah, and then Twilight would just kind of do whatever, and then Celestia would be like, Twilight, you did the right thing. Congratulations. I would give you a thumbs up if I had thumbs.
Yeah. Notably, I do love that both the ponies' hairs are getting like both their manes rather are getting real fucked up in this wind. Got some like leaves flying around and stuff too.
Celestia's mane is going all everywhere. Same with Sunset's. And she kind of like looks away. She does not want to hear this.
This is a very grumpy Sunset.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
And the first 6 panels have been like a little like frame.
I'm not sure why. Because, like, if you're gonna... We haven't had any of these kind of, like, very in their own way frames like this. And, like... Because the final panel that we're about to talk about is, like, also slightly framing this main frame bit. And nothing in this composition does anything with that. Like... it's a fancy composition, but it's not doing anything narratively.
Yeah, like you'd think it would imply that this is like, you know, recorded on a castle wall somewhere, or like, or that it's a framing device, or that this is the backdrop for this, but like this is just like the next thing that happens. Like it, it's visually interesting, but I agree. You'd think that this would be like a metaphor or something. Like this would like draw some kind of visual parallel, but it's just kind of there.
Yeah, like if I was doing this and wanting to do like exactly this layout, but doing it like my way, I would have the first 4 in that frame, and then the bottom 2 that are like this picnic, having the frame like notably falling apart, like having cracks in like as you're going through the first time, and then just having the frame completely falling apart in these last 2, that it's basically not even there at all. Mm-hmm. So that when we have the final thing of Celestia's ass just walking off in the distance,
she do have that cake.
This caked up Celestia just walking away. It has more thematic purpose to have this frame here. Like there's a little bit in previous pages that we've had of like frame breaking, and it's pretty much always just like on this last one, Sunset's hair Mane rather, like whipping up into the previous panel a little bit. That's a good frame break. But like the only other one we've had is also Sunset's hair while she's just walking into the foreground, which like, okay, cool, frame breaks are useful for implying some like movement towards the viewer, but like there are so many interesting places to have put frame breaks already, and we didn't. So why do we have this weird special frame now that it doesn't do anything?
Yeah, as we get this like big dramatic moment as they literally go their separate ways.
Yeah.
And Sunset goes, "I am ready." And neither one of them picks up the picnic basket, huh? That's just...
Yeah, that's for the toothless groundskeeper guy?
Yeah. I'm sure Celestia's gonna send a guy to go get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Proxipian Monarch.
Yeah.
Next page.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
You get Sunset storming into the dark magic no entry part of the castle.
Which seems to have a sleeping librarian at the desk.
Mm-hmm. As Sunset storms in, she goes, "Not ready. I'll show her not ready." You'd think this place would be better guarded. And again, I'm gonna say this again, like, if Twilight could do this and, like, no one would fucking care, right? She literally does this. She literally breaks into the Star Swirl wing and is like, "Oh, hey, Twilight, how are you doing?"
Right?
But... we do get Sunset doing this, like, little upward sit, like, resting her hoof elbow on a desk while holding up open the Necronomicon with her other hoof, which is a very, like, how do you do that with hooves? Like, because when you do that with a hand, you, like, put your thumb you put the thumb inside. She's a very talented horse, I'll give her that. In the background, we get the librarian waking up as Sunset keeps talking to herself and going, "Nothing on the mirror yet, but a few of these spells will come in handy." I do feel the need to point out some of the book.
Yeah. Like, fucking Salem's Stable rather than Salem's Lot, and, Memento Mori in there.
Yeah, we get, Who is Megan? A reference to the Gen 1 human. Mm-hmm. One of the Gen 1 humans. Crossing over, Crisis of Infinite Equestrias. There's more than one of everything. Yeah. Who do the Changelings work for?
Some of the other books, like, even all the way on the shelf, have good titles, like The Origin of the Everfree Forest.
Mm-hmm. How to Stop the Unicorn Uprise, Soylent Green Recipes, The Haunting of Hill Horse.
The Ponyville Horror.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the one in the very top left of this panel that is just simply labeled Spells. There's just one named Spells, and that's very good. And Evil next to it.
We do have a book on... There's Black Magic right there next to the Headless Horse.
Mm-hmm. It's a... Like, damn. Someone realized they had a really good chance to put some wild references in here and just goddamn did it.
Yeah. Again, Sunset is literally reading the Necronomicon, but they forgot to draw the pages in it, so it looks like she's reading a magazine version that's still bound in human flesh.
The fanzine human flesh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe there's some text you still need to read in there, though. For speech bubble?
Oh, I read that. I can read it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nothing...
If you did, then I guess just cut this out.
Nothing on the mirror yet, but a few of these spells will come in handy.
How does she know what hands are?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, maybe she's read about him at this point.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, yeah, there's Who Was Megan, there's,
Yeah. Yeah, if she knows if she read the book about Megan, she probably knows what hands are.
And you get a very big sense of going, here we go! She pours over Canterlot Castle, a History Volume 2, and our librarian pony, zooms out in the background to go snitch.
Yeah.
Fucking narc.
Right? Fucking hate it.
And we get Sunset. She just looks like she does not know how to handle this book. I guess that she's like flipping through the pages, but it does look too big for her in this panel here.
Yeah.
With the books in the background talking about Kelpies and evil origins of Canterlot and the Pegasus prophecy, evil of the skies.
I do enjoy the jar just leaving the graveyard dirt. Good shit. Good shit.
Exorcultism.
Yeah.
Also
that's very good.
And the Marin Black.
Mm.
Get Sunset going out. The Crystal Mirror. Every 30 moons, a portal will open to another world? To get isekai'd? To portal fantasy?
I mean, the Crystal Mirror, every 30 moons, a portal to another open to another world is actually probably a very good isekai light novel title.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Every 30 moons, the Crystal Mirror will open to another world, and I get to find out what hands are?
But we get a very startled-looking Sunset. And a, that's not really for you to know, now is it?
We get Celestia flanked by her guards. Yeah, looking
one
very...
One of them growling. Like, one of them glaring, one of them giving some serious stink eye.
Mm-hmm. Celestia's, like, full, like, wings up. Very, very imposing.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunset, like, pounds her hoof against the book. She's there's those anger issues showing through again. She's going, how dare you keep this kind of magic from me? You know that I'm ready for this, that I can be great.
You could be great. I thought I saw compassion and sincerity in you, but it was nothing but ambition. You've been selfish. You need to step back and reflect.
Hey, what, Celestia, are you, like, blinking out some eye crusties? What's going on here?
Yeah, right? And also, why do you keep on making fucking mirror references, Celestia? You got angry at her for looking at the mirror, and also, why the fuck is your crown finally got some goddamn shading on it for the first time in this entire goddamn... Everything else has either been just, like, cel-shaded, but now her crown has some real goddamn ink shading in there.
You gotta draw the hell out of her head in this one.
I guess, that's why the crusties are there.
Yeah, those are always there, they just don't usually draw them, you know.
That's fair.
Only in the 4K where you can see every one of her pores. Get Sunset throwing the book at Celestia, and Celestia like reflects it with her horn, the little magic.
Celestia also does like put a hoof in front of one of the guards as if to protect him from a book.
Yeah, or
a kicked book,
or possibly she's trying to hold him back from like tackling her.
Maybe.
But also, yes, that is kind of a get behind me.
Yeah.
Also, the books in the background, we got Sea Ponies, we got the Bottle City of Candor, nice Superman reference.
Nice.
Creation of Discord. Well, if I remember...
I mean, that's happening right in front of us right now.
Hey! If I remember my loading screen tips, it used to be called something else.
The Slack joke.
Alright.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're both just built on the same framework, not one being, Anyway.
Yeah, so we get Sunset, like, throwing her book, but she's, like, crying out in desperation to try and plead her case.
I feel like I've seen this face before, and it is, God, this is a fucking wild deep cut that I only some furries are gonna get, but the comic about the guy, the like fascist guy who was cucked by Jason Effects and Kyber, like stealing his wife, and the comic that was made about that. I'm pretty sure he makes this exact same face in one of the panels.
You have to show me this comic afterwards.
It's terrible, but yeah, I'll try and find that for you.
Thank you, dude. But yes, we get Sunset pleading her case as Celestia fucks her wife and goes, I'm selfish. That book right there says I could become as powerful as an alicorn princess. I could rule here. It's selfish of you to keep me from my rightful place. I deserve to stand beside you and be your equal, if not your better. Make me a princess. We get her pointing to the book with some like wing and horn diagram, or with like pointing to like the wings growing and the horn getting bigger.
Yeah. What if horns got larger over time?
I mean, they do. We see that with future Twy.
Yeah, but we get the like reverse shot here of like Celestia's eye and more of those weird little eye crusties. What is up with that? Actually,
with a very like angry sunset reflected in her pupil.
Yeah, this is some real good. Like this panel alone is actually some like real fucking good framing work. I love this a lot. But no, being a princess must be earned. I have been trying to teach you everything you need to know, but you've turned from it. Every time you say you deserve to get something without the effort just proves to me that you are not ready.
What did you teach her, Celestia? We didn't see any of that.
Right?
Like, you tell her to make friends, but like, you know, you don't really like help her.
Yeah.
You gotta give her a hoof hold, you know? You gotta get her started. And I get that you also don't know how to make friends, Celestia, but like, that's not on her. Like, I get that she's lashing out and she's like she's losing her cool here, but like, yeah, she's frustrated. She's been stonewalled for months, and like, Celestia's been snapping at her. You showed her the mirror.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah. Celestia's once again big wing up, and the guards are like constantly walking towards Sunset, but never get any progress actually moving towards her. But Sunset Shimmer, I am removing you from the position of my pupil. If we cannot get past this, your studies end here. You are welcome to stay in Canterlot, but you are no longer welcome in the castle.
We get a very angry, scrunchy sense. Look how much they drew her brow ridge there.
Yeah, like getting full on like Dragon Ball Z level of eye, like brow ridge detail.
We'll never get
in this snarl.
We'll never get past this because you aren't seeing how great I deserve to be. Is that really all you have to say to me?
No, the guards will escort you out. So the answer is yes, Celestia. Yes, that is all you have to say to her. Also, Celestia has like been drawn in pure black, except for her like crown, collar thing, and hair. So it just kind of looks like, what if Chrysalis had pretended to be Celestia instead? Like, it's a real bad look.
Yeah, I guess I think they're trying to go for like she's kind of vanishing behind the guards, but it does not work.
But yeah, because like you could have gone for like a more forced perspective of like
forced perspective
again for people who are listening rather than only watching. Like, what we have right now is a Sunset in the foreground, who's like eye level with the two guards, and then Celestia in the background, who appears like just barely taller than like the crests on the guard's helmet because of how this shot's composed. But like, if Sunset was pulled more down into the corner to make her look like, you know, like she's being backed into a corner, basically, have the guards on a more like looming over her angle, and then have like Celestia looming tall, like even taller in the background. So like Celestia might not be taking up much of the frame, but like she's in an imposing shape over everyone else. And then you do like this sort of black effect on the top, so that like her collar, like the bottom half of her hair, and then like just like her legs and chest are lit.
So she's looming.
But like there is so many better ways to have composed this to be a looming shot that it just looks real weird that hadn't happened. Especially because the next panel kind of at least understands that sort of composition a little better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, we get Sunset getting, escorted out by the guard. She's between them. She's, being walked out while Celestia's all like, behind her.
Yeah. Like, it's better composition. It's not, like, it still could be pushed to be a little bit more interesting, but it's better.
Mm-hmm. Get Sunset going, this is the biggest mistake you'll make in your entire life.
Which, again, fucking villain origin shot here. I love this. This is like if the guy on the left wasn't there, if it was just Sunset Celestia and the guard on the right, this might be my favorite fucking panel for composition's sake, because it is actually like a really solid panel, except for the guy on the left who's just sort of floating and has a weird pyramid head shaped head going on.
He's also faced with the wrong way, kind of.
Yeah, he's basically like his and Sunset's like butts would be fused into each other with this shot, which is kind of taken away from the composition a bit.
You there, stop sexually harassing my ex-student. She's bisexual.
Yeah, exactly. But when Sunset has left the room, therefore cannot hear Celestia's reply, which may have fucking helped.
Yeah. Yeah, because we get Celestia looking at a tapestry of her banishing Nightmare Moon to the moon.
Yeah, and her just saying one of many, and it's like, damn, Celestia, you do keep making these mistakes.
Yeah, so like you keep doing this. You understand this is your fault. It's not too late.
Again with the eye crusties.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Again, I'm trying not to be too critical here, but also, what are those? Like those were done with intent. Why are they there?
Mm-hmm. This is like the thing that always gets me. It's like, Celestia's like, I keep banishing the people closest to me.
I don't know, Celestia. Maybe you need to actually fucking talk to people rather than just goddamn banishing anyone who disagrees with you.
Yeah, like, Celestia, like, kind of threw Twilight in the deep end as far as friendship goes, but it's better than, like, literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, admittedly, Twilight would not have, like, demanded to be made a princess immediately, because the main difference between Sunset and Twilight is that Twilight is, a lot, like, more meek, a lot more, like, a lot less, what am I getting at here? Like, Twilight is A, terrified of Celestia, and B, like, obsessed with being a good little student. Whereas like, Sunset is willing to call
Twilight
bullshit when
seeks
she
approval.
sees it. Yeah, whereas Sunset is, like, self-assured and, like, calls bullshit when she sees it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunset Shimmer has a spine, and that's why she got banished.
Yeah, like, Sunset would, like, literally never be terrified of getting bumped back to magic fucking kindergarten.
Yeah, whereas Twilight has, like, a whole mental break over that for part of an episode.
Like, in the version of the show where, Sunset and Twilight swap places or whatever, or, like, where, like, the Sunset thing worked out, and so she winds up in Ponyville, it's, like, Fluttershy grabs, in this universe, it would be, like, Baby Spike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is, like, and instead of, like, panicking, Sunset's just like, yeah, like, we'll tell her, there's no conflict. It's just like, oh, yeah, I'll write her a letter and, like, it'll all work out. Like, obviously she's not going to banish me to magic kindergarten because I, like, helped her pet. That's a ridiculous thing to believe.
Yeah, right? Like, frustrating.
It's wild things, I could talk about this forever, but I would just repeat myself with, like, damn, Celestia. She even, like, acknowledges here that she's the common denominator, but, like, doesn't do anything about it. I guess Twilight's the second pancake here, right?
Yeah. And I know we had this chunk of conversation before, but do we even know if Twilight is the second pancake? Because Twilight might, again, be the
third or fourth
500th pancake.
Yeah.
We don't know how long this has been going on.
Yeah, like, we know that, we know, or at least we can surmise that Celestia, she knows Nightmare Moon's coming back. She knows she's got to get some pony to hold the elements of harmony. And, so we can surmise she's been looking for a student for a while, huh?
Yeah. But like, how do we know that
Sunset was probably not the first one? I mean...
Yeah, exactly, right?
If Sunset was not the first one, that makes this all the more damning. Like, damn. What happened to all the other kids who washed out?
Like, I realize we're kind of just doing a Rainbow Factory here, but, like... This actually has some precedence, rather than just, like, wanting to be grimdark.
I mean, I kind of assume most of the ponies who wash out for one reason or another are, like, they're not magical enough, or, like, Yeah. I kind of assume, like, not having the perfect magic genes is a much more common reason for them to wash out than the friendship thing.
Exactly.
Because, as we know, being good at magic is, like, genetic in this universe, which is fucked up.
Yeah, it's real fucked, honestly.
Anyway, shall we?
Yes.
Alright.
Because, hey, look at that, we got a frame break.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. Look at that good frame break.
Yeah, we get Celestia, like, sighing and walking kind of towards the camera, and her hoof lands on the, the edge of the edge of the panel.
Yeah, like, again, the only frame breaks that happen in this comic are when people are walking towards the viewer. But, like, I like this one so much more than just having Sunset's hair just, like, popping up through the panel above it. This is a real good, like, she feels like she's walking towards you because you got that hoof out. Mm-hmm. It's a much better, like, construction of that frame break.
Mm-hmm. Get a sigh?
My faithful student.
Good,
Sorry.
Good sigh,
anyway,
good sigh, good sigh. Then, our next panel, we get a very good, like, it does look like she has a ponytail here, Celestia.
Yeah.
Looks good on her.
I think that's just because her ear is much smaller in this panel than all the other ones.
Yeah, and also we're kind of seeing her from behind and so on.
Yeah.
But,
oh, Sunset Shimmer, no.
She has overpowered the guards and run through the mirror.
Overpowered the guards directly in front of the mirror and then run through. Yeah. Which is very funny to me. I love that detail.
And then we get our guard board. It's like, she took us by surprise and just jumped in the mirror. I don't know.
Shh, it's fine. If you're feeling up to it, would you please help move the mirror into a safer place?
Yeah,
these two men are just waking up from a goddamn concussion. Celestia, maybe wait until the morning.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe call in any, like, I know you have like 20 copies of this guy.
Yeah.
At one Flash Century for some reason.
Oh, he hasn't gone through the Twinning Kink project yet.
And also, I believe when we meet Horse Flash Century, he's like one of the new recruits or something like that, so he wouldn't have been here yet.
Yeah, he's a new guy.
Yeah, also he would be like Twilight's age.
Yes. There's that too.
Therefore, a simple Twinkle Sentry.
Yeah. I do want to point out that both the guards in this panel have their tongue hanging out, and this is only important for the next panel.
Yep.
Because one of them is seen, like, I guess moving the mirror. It's unclear. He's just sort of got hooves on it.
Yeah, it's like he's like straightening it or something. Like he's...
Yeah, and he's got his tongue sticking out. Want to do this guard again?
Well,
because you did the first one?
Yeah. Well, why hang it in an even more prominent place? Shouldn't you hide the mirror, princess?
No, I want it here to remind me. Also, maybe she'll come back someday.
Also, I'd like to point out that, like, by the time she does come back, it has been moved to the Crystal Empire.
Yeah. Also, it wasn't in the... I don't recall it in the, like, throne room or anything any of the previous times we've been in there.
Well, because the first time we see it in the show, it's in the Crystal Empire, and Celestia, I believe, mentions that she moved it here when Cadence took power.
Yeah, but, like, if it's in a being hung in a prominent place, even though it's sitting on the ground, why do we never see it until, like...
Maybe she puts it away for events.
Yes?
You wouldn't want your party guests wandering through and getting isekai'd.
True. Also, amazingly good timing for Sunset to have this argument with Celestia right on the window of when the portal actually worked, huh?
Also, what was Celestia's point in showing her the mirror, by the way?
We should probably finish the comic before we circle back on that. Because, right? Like, yeah. Because we get our final panel.
With Sunset coming out, human Sunset, or Sunset coming out of the mirror in human form. Going, well, now this is an interesting development.
I love her, like, wild thumb out hand going on here.
She's creeping. She's crumping.
Yeah. She's stepping over a flyer for the Canterlot High Sunday dance.
Yeah, so the Sundance is a Gen 1 pony, and also, which is apparently the name of the yearbook, and also the thing at the bottom, bring submissions to Megan, Danny, or Molly. Those are the 3 Gen 1 humans, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah. Megan, or as I keep all the Scooter Tricks videos, there's a running joke where the ponies keep calling her Megan, and I have to remind myself not to call her Megan.
Yeah.
But that is the Fall of Sunset Shimmer.
Yeah, it sure is a comic.
Yeah, it's the only backstory we ever get for her, really. And, okay, like, the other comic in the 2014 annual also has some backstory, but it's mostly backstory for the Humane Five and how they got to be friends. And then the framing device is Sunset, like, interviewing them, but also collecting blackmail on them.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot to talk about. You can read on your own time. The only things I really wanted to mention were, like, Babs is in it, and they do draw her pretty fucking gay.
Yes, 100%. The Babs in that comic is, like, I think she's even wearing, like, a military jacket. Yeah. Which is, like, some real dyke energy.
Yeah, she's got the side shave and little ponytail. She's got the earring.
For those of us who know the League of Legends setting, she's repping some real Vi energy. And, like, you know what? Good. But also, I wish we got more lesbian Babs. She's wonderful.
The only other things I'll say about the other comic are, A, Pinky Goth Real, briefly.
Oh, yeah.
And B, there's a what-off where Pinkie Pie is like, I have to think about so much, blah, 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 and Rainbow Dash's feet!
I assume it's because, like, Rainbow Dash's name is Dash, and, like, she's on all the sports teams. But, because
she's, like, really into soccer or whatever, but, like, out of context, it's a very funny thing. But that is the comic. Again, I want to say Sunset did very little wrong here. Like, obviously she did escalate it, but, like, you know, she's, you know, a student here, and also, again, Celestia should be dealing with this. Like, this is kind of her job. B, what the hell did Celestia expect showing her the mirror and then not talking about it afterwards?
Yeah. Celestia really did just set her up to fail.
Yep. It's even Celestia is like, I wanted here to remind me, like, you know, like she's feels a lot of guilt about it. Like, you know, I bet you could go through and apologize.
Yeah, like, especially because Celestia's like, hey, Sunset, I've heard that you've been, like, getting in fights with people rather than making friends. What do you see in this mirror that's a portal to other worlds? And Sunset's like, me being powerful, and Celestia's like, we're never talking about this mirror again.
Yeah. Again, like, if Twilight did this, if Twilight went into the Forbidden Wing and, like, kept asking about the mirror and took matters into her own hooves, like, she would never be punished for it.
Yeah, like, Sunset is definitely a character that in this comic that, like, needs some friends to learn some humility.
Yeah.
Like, Sunset meeting, like, fucking Rainbow Dash and having Rainbow Dash, you know, sports jock, like, friendly bully her into like, acknowledging that she can't do everything herself. Or, like, her having to watch Applejack fall apart because Applejack's also like, oh, I can do everything myself, and then just fucking can't.
Yeah.
And Sunset having to, like, reflect on, like, oh, even like, the literal workhorse Applejack fucking falls apart.
Yeah.
Like,
or Pinkie Pie is trying really fucking hard to be my friend. I guess I should let her.
Yeah.
You cannot escape the Pinkie Pie.
Mm-hmm. And just like the understanding that, like, you could never escape Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie has decided to be your friend. You will be Pinkie Pie's friend.
And
like,
I'll even say this, from what we've seen from future Equestria Girls stuff, like, they hit it off. Like, Sunset and Pinkie are great friends. It's like a tier 2 ship. It's they hit it off. I get that, like, Pinkie Pie is, like, not old enough to be Sunset's friend in this, but, like, you know, you could have tried, Celestia. You could have done literally anything instead of being like, well, yeah, this kid's no good. Better like next time.
Yeah, like, you found someone who was prideful and then did nothing to actually, like, discourage that activity? Because, like, even on the second page, when fucking Sunset just rips the goddamn castle in half with a giant plant, Celestia is smiling.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, yeah, she's doing good.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, Celestia. If you're upset about your student seeming too prideful and, like, getting too big for her horseshoes, like, dunno, seems like you kind of encourage that.
Yeah, because it doesn't help to just, like, and Celestia will, I think, realize this by the time she's with, she has Twilight, but, like, you know, you can't just say, you know, you really should be more humble. Like, you gotta, like, teach lessons, right? Like, if you're a teacher, you gotta teach lessons instead of saying, like, you should be humble. And, you know, one of the ways you, like, learn humility is by making friends and by, you know, being around people who are good at who, like, have different competencies and who are, like, good at things you're not good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to, like, censor to do manual labor, but, you know, it's the, like, you know, if she were friends with our main 6 ponies, she'd like, yeah, I can't fucking pull a plow. That's fucking hard. I'm not that fast. You know, whatever. Celestia did our darling son horse dirty. You know.
Yeah.
And is that the fall? We said everything we're gonna say here. Shall we open our mailbag?
What?
Okay. And it's time for our mailbag special. I have no idea what I'm gonna put on the screen during this part, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah, I guess if people are watching the video, they'll want to just keep doing that rather than having to swap over to the podcast or whatever. And...
Yeah.
Oh, no. I see.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I believe in us.
Yeah.
And our first letter today is from our darling crossover fan, our darling crossrover fan, who's been very patient, has been waiting since the end of Season 3 for us to read this, because Season 3 ended, we did the Equestria Girls stuff, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this mailbag was to make sure, like, now we get to this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so, from our darling crossover fan, hey, congratulations. Dear Graceful Spark and Spilled Beans, congratulations on surviving the 3rd season. I'm so happy you're still going strong, and I'm looking forward to the future episodes and your reactions to things in the later seasons, like the Cult, the Groffin, the Griffin Orphan, the Body Swap episode with Fluttershy and Angel Bunny, and Fluttershy's disaster closet case gay brother.
Oh my god, those last 2 I want to know so much about. I can't fucking wait. I knew. Oh my god.
I knew about 2 of these things. I did not know about the middle 2. Also,
yeah, holy shit.
Also, heads up, the Season 4 opener involves those vines covering everything, so I'm glad I installed those steel shutters to the tunnel entrances. I don't want those things down here. And it ends with the big horny bull centaur destroying the town and sucking people off for their magic, so be safe. I don't... I've seen this Season 4 opener, but now I'm wondering if I really did.
What? Scared.
I'm gonna apparently do not remember how Season 4 starts, so this will be exciting.
I'm gonna be styling my mane to hide the horn, I think, is the thing that we're gonna be doing here.
Yeah, I want to suck that horn.
Yeah. Wait, did you say centaur?
Yeah, apparently yes.
Oh, okay.
Big horny bull centaur were the words.
Did he maybe mean minotaur? Because we've met some of them. On one.
Is it T-Rex? Does he show up here, or like T-Rex's little brother or something? I think he showed up later. We'll find out. We have one more. Find out next episode.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll get there and find out about the vines and the centaur sucking and All right. Well, good to know.
And in response to the confusion from Pentest's comment about the hairy toe story, it basically goes like this. A forest hermit shoots or cuts a big hairy toe off something while hunting, and in hermit fashion makes it into a stew, eats it, and then is haunted by a voice that night. The voice breaks into his cabin, and it's a hairy ball with claws and eyes, then it kills the man. I'm like 80% sure that's how it goes.
Okay.
I guess. Like,
all
Googling
right.
the hairy toe story does, like, corroborate this.
Alright.
That makes, I guess, fair enough.
I guess if you don't make a stew out of a rusty horseshoe, you'll be fine. I love that we are still coming back to that episode and that wild ass horror story.
That was like the first half of season 3. That was season 3, episode 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, it being a rusty horseshoe, like you could just give it back because like why did eating the toe makes sense, but like.
I mean, eating the toe doesn't make sense, but also it does make sense that you can't return the toe in that case.
Like with the rusty horseshoe, the resolution is literally, here's your rusty horseshoe back, leave me alone.
Also, did this fucking hermit get killed by Kuribo? the greatest monster from Holy shit, brain. The greatest monster from Yu-Gi-Oh?
I can't believe he got slurped into that kuribussy.
What that Karib do?
Not shave, apparently.
Yeah, okay. You're not allowed to make that the episode title. We're not doing another Titusy.
I mean, we have broken the streak. It's not going to be 3 in a row, at least.
Yeah, I know, but
it does feel like an obvious hole to go back to. I agree. I'll have to say something funnier with the other 2 letters.
Oh no. Alright, challenge is on.
Speaking of pen test, if you're listening to this, I'd love to meet up at the Spark and Bean to discuss any future disasters you might like to be aware of. Because as I'm sure you'd like to be surprised by future events, you seem like the type who like to plan to keep her stuff safe, be it doodads or loved ones. Oh, that's considerate. And on a final note, Grace and Beans, if you are still in the human world at the time of reading, could you please grab me a pizza, bacon if possible, if not then just a cheese before you head home? Like seriously, Ponyville doesn't even have its own pizza place and none of the restaurants have it on the menu. Does Equestria even have pizza? Because I don't think it ever appears on screen. Anyway, thanks in advance if you do, and oh well if you can't. Worry not, listener. I read the letter beforehand. I did make sure our darling crossover fan has already gotten his pizza. Worry not. It didn't get cold.
Yeah, if you saw the previous thumbnail, that's it. I tossed it through the portal before we went through.
It's in my pocket. Don't worry about it. Sincerely, your fan, crossover fan. God, do we see pizza? I feel like we do, but guess we'll find out. We're on Pizza Watch.
Yeah.
We're on Watch. Thank you again for your letter, crossover fan. I'm sorry it took this long for us to get to it. Scheduling is rude, but we did get to it. I did not forget about you. I could never. Unless I get bonked and get amnesia, but that seems unlikely.
Yeah. Can I ramble at a Final Fantasy thing real fucking fast?
Oh, please do.
Pizza has reminded me, because we did just finish last weekend we did the Savage Raid for the first floor of the Arcadian, and one of the mechanics is just like boss does an attack and then does 2 clones to do the attack, and it's like because of the way that that's positioned, there's only ever a 45-degree slice of the arena that's a safe zone, and then basically just like if you invert the clock spot rotation of it, that's the other safe zone for the second part of it. And the way that I helped the fucking raid group start cleaning that safely was search for the spicy slicey and then invert the pizza. And that was we stopped having people fuck it up after I said that a few times.
It's a good mnemonic.
Yeah, because it's always the smallest slice that you could get, and then just do the opposite smallest slice.
So wise, dear. So new vibe.
I am brilliant. Anyway, next letter.
Yes, our next letter is from our darling Pentest, who, and again, I have some non-email flavored paper in my hot little hooves.
Oh.
And she writes, "Dear Graceful Spark and Spilled Beans, welcome back to what I guess is normal? After bouncing back to Audience World, then coming back just before you had to leave for that bizarre parody of humanity, I hope it was a relief to be back to horse." Yeah, I think our darling Beans finds a bit more of a relief than I do, but I have to admit, it's nice to have, like, a house and shit.
Yeah, like, it was cool to crash on Human Us's couch, but, like, I don't know, the tiny hands are still bothering me.
Like, I'm used to Equestria Girls world. I think I've spent more time, like, watching Equestria Girls than the main series at this point, but, you know, my experiences are not universal, and also, there's only so much you can do while you're in there. Like, I can try to collect information for my thesis, but anything I can't prove by watching is obviously, like, not helpful, right?
Yeah, you need some empirical evidence on that. I get it.
Yeah, like, I can, source, dude, just trust me.
Yeah.
Source, I asked nicely. Source, I went and pet the horse that Sunset rides in Friendship to the Ages.
Mm-hmm. Like, I just constantly am just, I was missing having magic when we were there. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it was nice it's nice to be able to levitate stuff when I need to, okay? I got used to it.
Back to hooves, back to mouth.
Yeah.
Back to having my... Though it is nice to have to have an excuse to get my darling hench to get things for me.
I mean, also, not being in high school again.
Yeah.
Like, the being the me who, like, half a lifetime ago was in high school, and then being back in high school, not liking that. Don't enjoy that situation particularly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
At least I'm making that assumption for the moment, having sent this in between the two halves of the movie episode. If you got this as an email instead of a letter, you have my deepest condolences, and I hope you can get back to somewhere less uncanny soon. Oh, don't worry, we're horses again. We're hoof maxing.
Yeah.
Regarding wing tucking,
Thank you.
I'm deeply glad that video footage isn't generally a thing in Equestria, as I've absolutely had worse moments. I'm going to admit something that would have been incriminating way back when. I had hours of regular tutoring for months after I got mine. Not just flight training, but also physical therapy for issues similar to what Twilight is shown dealing with, and etiquette lessons so I wouldn't make a fool of myself. You know, how to dress around them, learning in what social context you are expected to flaunt them, how to adapt your typical noble laugh to fan them the right way, etc. Oh, of course, you have to be able... The wing is a built-in fan for when you... Oh,
yeah. I hadn't even considered that. These are the things that I wouldn't even consider since I don't got any.
These are the things you don't even hear. That, you know how, like, when you listen to rich fuckers talk, not you, Pentest, but, like, you know, actual rich fuckers talk, and it's clear that they're just from a different home planets. Like, they're saying shit like, I don't know if I'll be making it to Barnaby's third dot party of the season, and, well, I was going to go to Yale, but because I'm a legacy, but I just preferred Harvard. You know, shit like that, right? Just like...
Yeah, the wild shit.
Yeah, you know, having a staff, right? You know, it's, so, you know, well done, Pentest here. Thank you for pulling back the curtain.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Twilight may be allowed to be a lovable dork, but some of us had reputations and familial expectations to maintain. Yeah, there you go. Regarding the actual substance of the episode/movie, I choose to believe that Canterlot High sits on top of one of those nexuses of weird stuff. Princess Celestia's acceptance of things beyond her control is a little too familiar. What if there are refugees from other realities that we just never... See, I have to actually turn the page. That's how you know this is real. Yeah. Find out about. When you end up in the area again, you should absolutely check out the other landmarks for weird magic nonsense. Oh, don't worry, we get some of that. Most of it's implied or stated to have come from Equestria, but, like, again, even the director's commentary mentions how like, cool Celestia is with all these random undocumented teens showing up at her school.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have to imagine this sort of thing just kind of keeps happening, and the best she can do, and we mentioned this in the episode, she's just like, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm a mandatory reporter. I don't want to learn anything I will have to tell someone about, but I'm going to do my best to get this kid the assistance they need. I don't have to know anything else.
Yeah, I do love the, like, slight... Like, 'cause the comic we just talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the first, like, humans that Sunset would meet would be Princess Celestia.
Yep.
Who would be, like, just like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
the whole, like, going from the Celestia she knew to the Princess Celestia, so the Principal Celestia, would be such fucking whiplash for her.
Yeah.
Just being like, why wasn't my Celestia this? If my Celestia was this, I would have been fucking normal.
I would also love to see Sunset, like, she does this whole thing, she, like, burns that bridge, she escapes, and the first person she runs into is also Celestia's, like, Jesus Christ, is there one of you everywhere?
Alright.
Also, I'd like to point out that at the end of the Fall of Sunset Shimmer, she comes out at night, so, like, she's sleeping outside for at least one night.
Yeah, definitely. Holy shit.
Regardless. Regarding fish on Fridays, I was a recovering Catholic before I was isekai'd, and can confirm your understanding was more or less correct. I'm so wise. I know some of you on the Fediverse said I was either wrong or lying. Lent is more about abstaining from familiar pleasures than anything else. The typical reasoning I heard was that abstaining from warm-blooded flesh, blah blah, symbolic link to communion, was enough of a sacrifice. I'm positive the dietary necessity in certain regions played a part in that decision, but I can't exactly guide the Vatican in this life. I appreciate the implication that you had the Pope's ear beforehand, dear.
I mean, yeah, if anyone, right?
Dear, can you get me a ride in the Popemobile? I'm not Catholic, and I'm not willing to convert, but, like, you know.
God, I forever have it seared into my brain of the, like, article that was just, like, in like, 2002, the Pope requested that thing not be called the the Popemobile. So in 2007, the Popemobile.
Yeah, the Pope does not like when you call it that, but, like, what else are you going to call it?
It is literally the Popemobile. That's what it is. If you thought it was embarrassing to have it be named that, you shouldn't have made it, buddy.
Yeah, you should at least.
Would you rather it be like Popey McPopeface? Because you wouldn't have got that if you waited like 10 years.
Like I'm sure it maybe has some official name, like the Pontifexatron or the Vaticator.
The mobile pulpit.
the God Force 1. Mobile prayer platform. The woman disrespecter.
Yeah, that does seem to be the thing.
Okay, anyway. Giving up something dear to you for the duration of Lent is a common practice, sort of an aesthetic tourism thing, but the meat thing is so widespread that it is more or less expected that one does it. One forgets about it, lies about it, then feels guilty about it later. One forgets about it, lies about it, feels guilty about it later. You know, the true Catholic experience. Yours in levity, Pen Test. Always a pleasure to hear from you, dear.
Gundam Catechism. That's what it should be called. Sorry. Had a moment. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to remember the word catechism for a second there. Anyway, sorry. Yes. Thank you for writing in, Pen Test. It is always a pleasure.
Ultra Boy Free Zone?
No, it's the Popemobile. It is a very boy-filled zone.
That's why it's bulletproof.
Yeah. Sorry, can you reread that that letter again? I unironically was actually trying to remember the word catechism and missed some of it.
Which parts?
Just like the last 2 sentences.
Giving up something dear to you for the duration of Lent is a common practice, sort of an aesthetic tourism thing, but the meat thing is so widespread that it's more or less expected that one does it. Or forgets about it, lies about it, then feels guilty about it later. The true Catholic experience. Yours in levity, Pen Test.
Excellent. Okay, yeah. So I had actually got it. All right. I thought I had missed something, but no, I hadn't. Yeah, because unironically, I don't know if it's apocryphal, but I do remember in high school like being taught that like the Vatican did say that beaver was fish for Lent because of like like beaver trappers in what is now Quebec and stuff, like way back before Canada was a country.
You think they're just jealous because my popussy poppeth holy and theirs doth not?
God, my brain just fell out. Okay. Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't prove you wrong on that one.
Yeah. There's no Catholicism here. How would you?
Yeah. I simply wouldn't. It's the only answer I've got.
Okay, here's how you fix the popemobile problem. You fit it with a squirt gun full of holy water. You can call it the baptism blaster.
Okay. Yeah, alright.
I don't know if that would help, but I think it would be funny.
It would definitely be funny as hell.
And if you get attacked by vampires, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And last letter?
Yeah.
This one goes to Monster Fuckers at isekai.horse from our darling Isa. I think it's Isa. I know we waffled last time, but I don't remember which one it was.
I'm fairly sure it's Isa. I've had a chat.
Subject, hi girls. Oh, by the way, our darling Pentest letter was, welcome back and Organbore Isekai-kun. But this one is hi girls.
Oh, excellent.
I, Isa, have not written in a while, which is unfortunate, but I had a very good reason for doing so. The reason being I couldn't be bothered. Besides, you got my responses, questions, and harsh critiques through the Fediverse. That's right, we are on the Fediverse, baby!
You'll love to see it?
Yeah, as websites come and websites go and crumble, federated, decentralized social media wins the day. I really should just stand up an account just for the podcast, but regardless, just gonna say you're both doing great. I've been having a great time watching along with you, hearing your thoughts, enjoying your complimony, and being part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Special shoutouts to Beans, and the lovely title card she somehow creates despite not having hands. She's got a horn. She's cheating.
Yeah.
She's on easy mode. I gotta hold a pencil in my fucking mouth.
It took me a while to translate the drawing activity from moving an arm to moving a pen with horn, but yeah, mm-hmm. It is thankfully kind of easy once I've gotten used to it.
Doing a unique one for every episode is such an unnecessary touch, but I love it. It is delightful.
Sometimes I question if I should keep doing it, but I keep doing it.
I mean, I appreciate it.
I enjoy doing it. It's just also every now and then when it's God, the Evangelion one that I did that was just way too fucking much, and just why? Because once I'm 2/3 of the way through that, I'm just looking at it being why am I doing this to myself? I still have 2 hours worth of work left on this minimum. Why am I doing this? And then I finish it, and I look at it again the next day, and I just start cackling, and that's why I do it. The struggling through it is part of being an artist about a lot of things, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But also sometimes when I'm in the middle of the struggle, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mood. And I appreciate it, dear. I mean, without it, I'd have to start making my Photoshops again.
I may have started doing it just so you didn't have to do those Photoshops, because some of them are terrible. And I don't mean that in I don't mean that in they're done bad. In terrible in oh, I hate this joke kind of bad.
See, this is instead of see, there you go. Instead of doing it badly so someone else does it, you do it good so that someone intervenes.
Yeah. Yeah. It is unfortunately a good tactic of, if you don't want to do a thing, do it real badly so someone else does it instead.
I only ever put my full pussy into those, and you can verify that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Congrats on another milestone. Finally meeting her, capitalized her, Sunset Shimmer, after all this time. In the spirit of Monster of October and Sunset's lovely demon form, what do you think are the sexiest monsters in the FIM extended universe? Ponies count 2 if you want. Love to you both. Well, Chrysalis, obviously. We love a bug. We're big bug fans.
Yeah, Chrysalis specifically, because a lot of the ponies and general changelings are just people. Mm-hmm. So them being monsters is kind of antithetical to monster fuckery.
If you think the real monster is bad, you can get out of Monster Fucktober.
Yeah, seriously.
You have the other 11 months for that.
Yeah, we can all sit here and be like, yeah, Elon fucking Musk is a monster, but no one wants to fuck him for his monstrous traits, you know? But, like, a werewolf, there you go. You got some fucky traits going on there. You got a Dracula. Got some cool traits there. Like, okay, we need to run through. God, how many different, like, non-generic people sort of things have we met along the way?
We've met Iron Will. We've met. We've met a Stephen Magnet. We've met dragons, both long and regular.
And many forms of dragons.
We've met griffins.
True, but they are just people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to an extent, also the dragons are just people, but they're not like pony people in the setting. Just like in a lot of things, like vampires are just people in a lot of like more modern vampire stories. But like they're, you know, it's a fuzzy gray area. But like, if you expect them to pay taxes and have like a driver's license, they're probably not monsters. If it's just like this is the group of them.
Yeah.
We also had like the manticore pretty early on, and the cockatrice.
You can keep going. I am going to take this opportunity to do something of a deep cut, possibly a I don't know if it's necessarily a controversial one, but it's one I don't see people talk about because it is from Gen 5.
Okay, I would have no idea then if it's Gen 5, but
I do have to show you Allura, who is this like primo persona material. This like,
hey, did they steal Kipo?
Right? It's this fucking like. Let me. You should look up a picture yourself, but like to paint you a word picture, she's a snow leopard. Like on all fours, she's got like the lesbian ass side shave hair going over one. She's got the ear pierced. She's got like the hypno voice.
She's also got like Celestia's colors for her hair. I'm so glad that for like over a decade now, I've been rocking the like lesbian side shave. It's very good. I love it a lot.
She is like, I don't. At some point, we'll have to venture in the Gen 5 minds, but like, the biggest indictment that like no one watched Gen 5 is that I hear nobody talking about this girl, even though she is like, primo something. This is like a banger character design. If you just saw it in the wild, you would have no idea this is a Gen 5 pony character.
Yeah. Also, like, the, like, Steven Universe Beanmouth on the Gen 5 pony in this. I kind of love it, actually. Like, part of the reason I was like, I'm never watching Gen 5 is, like, why the 3D animation looks like trash. I don't know, like, it is hard for me to really like 3D animated work. Like, you need to have some, like, real stylized shit going on, like, I don't know. It looks like it was spit out by a fucking AI trying to be DreamWorks. Does not look good to me. If your 3D animation looks like DreamWorks, I don't like it. Anyway, now that hot take is out of the way.
Yeah. Gen 5 has both the bean mouth 2D animated shorts and the 3D animated like real series, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
There's Tell Your Tale and Make Your Mark, and I forget which one is which.
Yeah. I feel bad for Gen 5. They're trying to rebottle that lightning, and it ain't going back in.
Yeah, and also I don't think they tried that hard to rebottle it, to be honest.
They assumed that they could simply show us a bottle with lightning painted on the outside, and that everyone would be excited again.
Hey, remember the last bottle? That was great.
Huh. Something, the H-Bomb video essay about plagiarism, wherein he just says the thing about money men don't look at art as art, they just look at it as a commodity to be burned. Anyway, right, back to the question about monster fucking. Like, the thing is, like, there aren't really that many, like, monsters in there, though.
I gotta close the Trixie Brew tab, because there is some great fan art of this snip that I would get distracted by, but...
Yeah. So, like, yeah, Manticore, dragons, Discord Chrysalis.
And I know some people
Sombra, I guess, just because like if vampires are monsters, Sombra be monster.
Yeah, he can turn into mist like vampire.
Yeah,
he has a limited vocabulary, so it's. I'm trying to give him the Harkness test, but he's just like crystals.
Yeah, he had Fang and live in castle. He had Dracula. He had a Dracula pony. I get it.
I can't believe he didn't get killed by Armmas.
Don't worry. That's like season 6. That guy will show up. It's fine.
Van Horsing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely Bug. We love Bug.
Yep,
Big Bug.
Yep. Big Bug. I mean, we am Bug. We fuck Bug. We get it.
Yeah. Bug for Bug. B for B. Love for wins.
Yeah. The question is favorite though, right?
I'm trying to think of like what else we get because like.
I want to say, at least for me, like it's kind of a toss up because like, as much as Chrysalis feels like an obvious example, Chrysalis is also the obvious example, and also she's got her own thing going with the polycule she's in over there. Whatever, that's fine. I'm kind of split between like. Specifically Nightmare Moon, not Luna, Nightmare Moon, and like the spooky moving around as clouds and going in people's dreams like Freddy Krueger shit. Like I don't know, there's some hotness going on there that I can get on board with. Or the Fluttershy episode where she had to confront a dragon and do the mom voice. If that dragon was a girl instead of a guy, pretty on board with that. Kind of enjoyed that dragon's whole vibe going on. But like, we are kind of starved for monster fucker options.
Well, I have the wiki up. Shall we do a quick smash or pass based on what we've seen so far?
Oh yeah, that sounds perfect.
Owie Zottle from Daring Do.
I need a reminder.
That 4-legged guy with the kind of Aztec guy. Yeah.
There are obviously some ideas, but I don't know. There's some cultural appropriation. The whole like eyeballs were not should be. No, I'll pass.
Cerberus. Remember?
There's fucking Cerberus.
Yeah, remember when Twilight said you should be guarding Tartarus?
Oh yeah. Pass.
Yeah, it's just kind of a dog, and not like even like a fun, cool fun, cool dog girl that we can enjoy. That we all enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about
if I want cool dog girls, I've got so many other ones to go for, rather than it's just a dog with 3 heads.
Yeah.
And should be guarding Tartarus or whatever the fuck. No. Pass on that.
Yeah. We've talked about the cockatrice. They do list demon as a separate species, specifically picturing Sunset and her imp boys. Which,
smash.
Yeah,
with
would.
A question mark. There's some
would, but it's also like I know I can do better. There's I know she gets good.
Yeah, and like the demon-y versions of them, okay, I guess. Like, sure. Yeah. It's definitely like a bottom of the barrel smash, but a smash.
Diamond Dog. Not really my type, IMO.
I mean, that would be some, like, filthy dog girl shit, which, you know what, I can get on board with.
Yeah, because they did. I think there's at least fan art of at least one Diamond Dog girl, or they show up in the comics or something. And you know what? She seems nice.
Yeah, like, a Diamond Dog girl who needs a bath, sure, fine, smash.
Reconquest, we kind of discussed Discord and his shape before.
Yeah, kind of like, even if there's a femme version, kind of trying too hard to be unique.
Yeah, honestly, I just think he would be exhausting to have sex with, or she.
Yeah.
If people, there's some precedent for Eris, the she Discord.
Yeah, like, I just have to approach all of this with the assumption that we were talking about like a non-binary or femme version of the character.
Yeah. Like we're talking about something that we'd find attractive already.
Yeah.
Dragons. We've discussed the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
If it needs to be said, pretty universally smashed across the board, with the exception of some very masked ones and age with others.
The fruit bats. Would you fuck a strawberry?
I mean, I'd fuck a strawberry squeeze. So,
and she's pretty great.
They are just colorful bats, though.
Yeah, probably not the best use of your time. I'm
gonna question their capacity to consent to the situation.
Understandable.
And I'm just gonna not address that one. I guess pass.
Yeah, I think we do get at least one tour coming up, but we can put a pin in this and discuss it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed griffins. Let's see.
Yeah.
The Hydra. Have you met the Hydra yet?
Yes. It
that...
chased the main six around.
Yeah. What those mouths do.
Yeah, like it's kind of just a shittier dragon.
Yeah. It's just like...
Which, sure, fine.
It's just some heads.
Yeah, like... If it brought something interesting to the table, smash, but
yeah,
I feel like pass just because it's an uninteresting idea compared to peers.
Yeah, like I feel like I could have, like... I feel like I could make something work out there if the Hydra's willing to talk, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Alright, Jackalope, that's literally just a rabbit with horns.
Have we met one of those?
Not yet, no.
Okay, well... I do have a Jackalope character, so smash her, obviously.
Yeah, wise.
But, I'm unsure on the My Little Pony Jackalope. We've not met it.
It's literally just a rabbit with a horn, which, like, it's a rabbit. Same thing as the fruit bats.
Yeah, alright.
Alright, the Manticore. Yeah, I think maybe I could enjoy the company of a Manticore.
Yeah. Like, it's a smash because I see no reason to say pass, but not like an enthusiastic, there's a cool thing here to say smash for.
Mm-hmm. Minotaur, Minotaurs pay taxes, like they're clearly people, but sure, why not?
Yeah, right, like, same with Griffins, like, yeah, sure, why not?
Parasprite's just an orb, not gonna... Whatever. That's just an animal, whatever. Phoenix, again, that's just an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Rock, that's just a bird. We have sea serpents. We have Steven Magnet again. He's like a nice guy.
You know what? Steven Magnet, specifically, we could talk.
Woo!
We might have found one of the mask identified characters that I'm like, we could talk rather than no. But
Steven Magnet or his friends. Presumably there are other sea serpents.
Yeah, but like if we're singling out him specifically, rather, yeah.
Sirens, who we will meet eventually. Put a pin in that.
Sirens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Depends on context, but I mean, it's sirens.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a bit of a smash.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitionally kind of worth it. Joke's on you. Yeah. It's a klaxon with a flashlight. Wee-woo, wee-woo.
Oh, it's Siren Head. Okay, I see.
Oh, we get this very cute Sphinx design that's just like on a poster somewhere, but she's cute.
Oh, let me peek over your shoulder at this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Assuming she gets treated with anything even remotely like resembling good cultural taste as opposed to how the show handles Sakura, smash.
Timberwolves. Sorry, you have something else to say.
No, that was about it.
All right. Timberwolves again, just like a dog, but like splintery.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say pass on that one. They're not really like interesting, and apparently they also stink. And like, sure, get yourself a dog girl who stink good, but not like that. That's not the way you do that one.
The Ursas, the big star bears. I mean, the Ursa Major is kind of a MILF.
Yeah, but she's also just a bear that you have to look up to. And I feel like there's some power imbalance there that I would not enjoy. Pass on that one.
the wind monsters with the bad name, and that is like it.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I did also just remember the mice that were turned into horses.
Yeah.
I'm surprised those aren't on the list, and that is a pass for me.
Those are also just like mice, you know?
Okay, yeah, but they're like werehorse mice. I realized it was transferred by a spell. But like, if the demon form that like Sunset took is on the list, then those should be as well.
Sure. But like the horse mouse is still like a mouse, you know. But it's also
again, it's a pass.
Yeah.
But I think it should be on the list for everyone to say pass to.
Well, take it up with the wiki.
I would never.
It's not on the list.
I would never bother my time with a wiki.
It is not on the list of creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's... Honestly, a lot of the monster fuckers are kind of starving.
Yeah. Well, there are some in the list I had to skip over because we haven't seen them yet. But even then, it's a little few and far between IMO.
Yeah.
Alas, we will simply have to be content with horse.
I mean, but there's so many good horses out here.
Mm-hmm. And also, I thought someone mentioned it. Maybe it was somewhere else. Maybe Isa said it on the Fediverse, but like, you know, the implication that Twilight is a monster fucker because she's interested in Brad as a human.
Okay, actually, that is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twilight the horse wanting to fuck Brad the human is some monster fucker content. Alright, fine. I mean, like, it's the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if people want to fuck an alien, that's a whole, like, monster fucker or whatever. But if an alien want to fuck a human, we don't treat that as weird. But that's the same shit.
Yeah, listen.
That's an alien wanting to be a monster fucker.
Yeah, listen. There are a lot of fics I have either read or, like, could clearly imagine with, like, oh, I'm in this alien body, I don't know what to do with all these alien hormones, and they're making me so hot and bothered. And, oh, here's Brad, an alien, and he's really into me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... Listen, I'm just saying it's like... It's not that far from, like, Horse Domestication Guide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Domestication Guide.
What a good spinoff.
Mm-hmm. And that is everything. Thank you all for your letters. Thank you all for sticking with us this long.
Yeah.
And, do we call it good?
I think it's good.
Truly, we were hit by a horse truck and got escorted to Equestria. I have been past Canterlot's beloved Princess Graceful Spark. You can find my writing programs, podcast posts, and everything else is fit to plug at princess.software. Beans here, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find all the parts of me that aren't trapped in here in Equestria over at drakos.art, drakos.art. For any of you who are looking for me on Twitter, don't.
Yep.
At this point, I've even deleted the fucking app off the little phone so that I can't even open the links people sent to me to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So, find me elsewhere, baby.
Mm-hmm. And as always, in the spirit of the free and open web, you can find our website, including episode downloads and such, at isekai.horse. I always feel like we should mention that, and I always forget to, but it's there, and you can appreciate it. And we
got RSS feed, and I'm guessing all the good places podcasts are, and all the shitty places they are as well.
Mm-hmm. And see you next time for season 4 proper, baby.
I'm so excited to find out about the vines that suck people. That was what we should take away from that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the vines and the sucking are separate. The vines happen, and there's a guy who does the sucking.
The vines arrive and the sucking boy shows up. It's a whole cryptid situation.
Yeah, like it's possible the sucky boy like brings the vines, or like the vines herald the guy who sucks, plus he may or may not have depression.
Hey, if that little bit of discussion we just had there was really interesting to you, you should probably go play the cute little video game Home Security Hotline. Very good game. Go enjoy that. Dorcha is the one who delivers. Always remember Dorcha is the one who delivers. It's the most important information you could learn. Anyway, goodbye, folks.
I'm trying to have the horse safety horse line.
God, that would be a very good spin-off for them.
Happy to help. Horse help.
unironically though, being like at a like unironically though, being at like a help desk where you're getting calls in from like, is this just like black mold in my walls, or are there fucking changelings replacing my family, or has Discord showed up again? Like, a My Little Pony variant of that would be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of groundwork for that. Anyway.
Clearly I should suck your magic out now, so the boy can't do it next time.
Yeah. Yes. We should go do that right now, actually.
Yeah, let's get started.
Sure.
Bye!
Yeah, bye! Mwah.
Pony.